Okay, this is the third attempt at doing a video. Welcome to the Gym of All Trades channel. Glad you are here. I hate it when the market is moving so fast while I'm making a video. I've been trying this morning, trying to figure out what's going on exactly so I can give you good information. So as the market's giving me this information this morning, I want to talk to you about what I think is going on. Be careful here, guys. Let me just say be careful, okay? I'm not going to give a long intro because I gave a long one yesterday. Just want to say you blew up my comments yesterday and the video blew up. I gained like 25 subscribers yesterday because you guys were commenting. Would you do it again today? Okay, it's inconceivable. If you want to have some fun in the comments, let's do our favorite Princess Bride quotations. Okay. All right. Well, let's jump into the market. Don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. How's that for a quick intro? All right. I want to get this video out to you quickly. All right. I'm thinking that this is right now in Litecoin and potentially a leading diagonal. Or it's a WXY. And let me tell you what I'm thinking. Okay, it's very hard to know which one. A leading diagonal is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is the fifth wave. It stays within this channel like this. We should see a sharp move to the downside. Should even break it, come down to this region right here, $71 to $72, and then we'd be taken off to the races. Potential bullish move right here, leading diagonal. That's what I'm thinking this might be. The other option I was thinking about could be a 1 2 1 2, and this is basically making the 1 2 3 4 5. If we break this trend line up here, this is the other option here. If we break this trend line up here, so draw it on your chart. If we break that trend line, it's not a leading diagonal most likely, because it'll come up significantly more. So if it does that, then we'd be dealing with a 1 2, and then we'd be dealing with a 3 wave 4, and then a 5, and this would be 1 2. We're making the 3 4 5 of the third wave. So be careful about that as well. Dang it, this thing's going to move again in my third attempt. Okay. Maybe it'll stop and be a leading diagonal. Who knows? So I hope it does it. All right, let's see what else. What else could we be looking at? A WXY. I'm thinking we're about to break the plane of the one. So I'm thinking that may not be the case. We'll have to see this line right here that I just drew. It can't pass that. It cannot pass that. If it does, we're not dealing with a four wave, and we're not going down lower right now. So this has been a very tricky wave to see, guys. This has been a very hard wave to count. So now it's proven itself to be ultra hard. Market makers are at it again. At it again. Litecoin is just flying right now. I'll bet you the dominance chart is going down right now. I'll bet you $10. No, I'm not gonna bet, but I believe it's going down. All right, so we're just watching Litecoin here. Watch this trend line here. Watch for a push to the downside sharply. If we get that after 5 waves here, this thing is kind of moving pretty hard. So somebody's pumping it for sure. We never FOMO into green candles like this, guys, because just as soon as you do, they will tank it. If they can take the price up that fast, they can take price down that fast. You got to understand that. So be aware. They like to take it up really fast on these short term to get everybody jumping in, FOMOing in. So as everybody buys into it, they start selling into it. So this is why I don't. Buy on green candles like this. I wait for a pullback, and so it's kind of painful sometimes to watch that. It's the pain of missing out. It's not FOMO, it's POMO, but it is what it is. You just gotta have to learn that in the market because we only trade what the market gives us. We just crossed into that. We're heading up. If we just wick, we're okay. But if we pass through it, then we're not okay. Looks like we're going to be. We may wick. We got 15. This is a 15-minute chart. I'd like to see it reverse here. That would be an ideal world here. If not, we're looking at 1 2 1 2, and then that's very very bullish. Okay. So what you may want to do if this becomes very, very bullish like that, wait for a little bit of a pullback, the small pullback, and then you can jump in and ride the rest of the wave up. But again, it's not going to go up forever, so you got to be careful, okay? So this would be 1 2. This is 1 2. Looking at 81.66 at the top of this third wave. Potentially, this looks like it'll be an extended third wave. Potentially. Don't know that to be a fact, but it is a potential. Already had those fibs on there. Yep. There he goes. So, all right. So we're looking kind of at a bullish scenario here, guys. This is a crap fifth wave, is what it was. It didn't make much of a lower low, and a bunch of traders missed out. In particular, waiting on this thing to go down one more time, as I did, and everybody did. Still not guaranteed. Still not guaranteed that this is going to. Um, what do you say? It's gonna go. This could be a leading diagonal. But let's wait and see what this wave does. If this reverses off this trend line, I can break this line and be a leading diagonal. Okay, this yellow line. Um, it does not looking like a four wave anymore, guys. It's just not looking like a four wave. But it could be a WXY. Um, but yeah, it could be a WXY because we're staying too long here at this level. I think the WXY is out now. So looking like a 1-2-1-2, but again, we got to watch this trend line right here and see what it does. If she, like I said, if she comes down here, it'd be nice to get a retrace down here to the $72. Come down here and make a wave, but I'm not digging into that as fast as that's shooting up right now. So all the other traders are going to probably be jumping on board and FOMOing in. I'm just going to wait for a wave to come back down and see. Okay. All right, let's look at BTC. Same deal here. The wave structure, though we haven't broke this line of death here, we still have a potential of being a four wave. Still digging into that potential, but here's the deal: Bitcoin. This might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's done. It's just a wow. Yep, Litecoin is just shooting, it's just going. Yep. Hate when I miss these. But it's hitting this trend line here. So let's see a reversal. We got 9 minutes on this candle. Let's wait and see. Um, Hate that, but we don't FOMO. See, I feel the same emotions you guys do. Okay, I feel the same emotions y'all do, but we don't. I don't jump into trades like that. We've got discipline here. We're gonna wait for a pullback and then we enter the trade because we're gonna be smart with our money. Because I know what market makers do, and Bitcoin is still looking potentially reversalish. We got one more push to the downside, possibly. So I don't know what that would mean for the count in Litecoin. This the only other thing, if it's a bearish, the only other way I can interpret this as a bearish count is that this is basically a one wave and it's five completed waves, and this is a two wave. And if that's the case, then we can be coming up here, no problem. We don't have any problems coming up here to the $76 region if it's not a four wave. This is a 1-2 wave. That means this is super bearish. Um, it would be just like the market makers to do that. So super bearish count if that's the case. This would be 1 and this is 2. This is so hard to interpret. So hard to interpret. I'm rushing my here I wanted to upload this to. Sorry about that. It's a video on Litecoin swing trading community. It's my first video. It was a think aloud. I was just thinking out loud with everybody, and then the market started moving, and I canceled the video. So I've tried this 2 other times, and anyway, so that's where we are. It's just I'm trying to figure it out in front of you now. I didn't have a chance to do the analysis prior to. So so yeah, if we break down here from this line, could have a leading diagonal, could have a WXY because we're hitting the 1276 right now. You can see that 1276 is right at $76, 75.90. If we come up here to the 618, we have a good chance that this is actually a three wave and not not a WXY. That being said, though, this is an ABC. It measures correctively. If I put the fibs here, we could have a two wave that comes all the way to $78. Okay, so that's a potential. This is why I don't jump in on green candles, because of these potentials here. We're going to get a pullback. So we could come all the way up to $78, and that would be short of this, and this could be a 1, a 2, and then we could be coming down for a big time 3, big time bearish. That's a big time bearish count. Not sure. Not sure what's going on there. So there's still bearish potential. There is bullish potential. We're hitting this trend line, as you can see. Let's wait and see what happens in Litecoin. Bitcoin, it's hard to tell, but this wave right here measured correctively. It measured to the one-to-one extension, came down for 3 waves. That measured correctively. So if I put the fibs here, could come up here again. I said yesterday as high as 10,500 and still be corrective. Still be a 4 wave. It could. How likely is that? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's very likely. It could come down. It got a little bit of a pullback, and then going to hit 10,529. That stays below the level of the 1 wave, and then we still come down. So be careful about that, guys. Be careful with that. Getting a bit of a pullback now, but not much. Let's look at Ethereum. Came up to the one-to-one extension, came down AAB. So it looks like we're making one final wave. What's that looking like? It's quite the conundrum. ABC. What if we come up here? Put the fibs up here. It's too high. Okay, it's not too high actually. What we're looking at for Ethereum is just a large complex pattern here. So you can see how if I see 203 to 207, let's remember those. Let's remember those lines. $213 to $222, no confluence there. Here's the problem, guys. This is corrective. This is a correction. That is not impulsive. That is corrective. This is impulsive. Came to the 1618. Could be corrective, but it's impulsive. I feel like this is just market maker shenanigans, guys. Market maker shenanigans. If this wave comes up and makes 3 waves to the upside, because it's impulsive looking, we'd be looking at this basically a big W. This would be a large scale WXY. WXY. See how we got 3 waves? $213 to $222 in Ethereum. Ethereum has the cleanest looking count and chart of all of them. It's the cleanest. That would put us underneath the 1 wave potentially if that's a 1 wave. So BTC and Ethereum both look like they still could be in a 4 wave. It's just a very complex and deep 4. is Litecoin. I guess it could be in a four wave still. Zooming out. Yeah, I just don't know what to make of this. This wave is just trash, guys. I just don't even know what to make of that. Looks like Litecoin is just came up to that trend line and reversed. Just watch it, guys. Watch that. I'm trying to figure it out, but I've just I don't know. We're gonna have to let the market finish this wave. So whenever I'm in an I don't know pattern, and I'm giving you my ideas, and I have ideas, but am I certain? No, I'm not certain right now, but I'm using Elliott wave principles to try to figure it out. But when I can't figure it out, what I do is I wait. I just wait for the trade to set up. See, my trade setup, this hasn't been invalidated yet, but it's becoming less likely in my mind on LTC. Now, BTC, still likely. I still have a very high likelihood of coming down here. I feel that we still could do that because we haven't really reached my invalidation point yet, even though this candle was so big. And Ethereum hasn't reached an invalidation point either for a downside move. So with Ethereum and Bitcoin, it's looking okay to the downside still. With Litecoin, it might be okay to the downside. It's just more confusing to me. The count is a lot more confusing. We did. You can tell. I don't know if you see my line of death here, but on the 15-minute chart, we did just wick this. We just wicked it. So we possibly still could be dealing with the WXY, and the WXY would be W, X, and then Y, and this being an expanded flat. Okay, WXYs need to be threes all over the place. Okay, three, 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 down. So that's potential. That's a strong likelihood. Now, how do we know if that's I mean, that could be right there because the other two are measuring the other two waves in BTC and Ethereum. They're measuring awful correctively. Okay, I don't think Litecoin's going to go up while these are going down. Now, if this is a leading diagonal instead, then we're still looking for a three-wave move to the downside. Let's look for it to retrace down to structure. I would be looking for this structure area right here for a retrace. Looking for so if that's a leading diagonal, I'd be looking for three waves to the downside in Litecoin, and then there's your entry point. Okay, but again, we don't FOMO on these green candles. We don't enter on green candles. You've got to remember that. Okay, and hopefully that's something you learned and understand. Now at watching me trade this because I used to enter on those green candles and I lost so much money doing it. So I just learned not to. and sometimes they go and you like if you had entered you'd have made money. Yeah, but we don't FOMO and we wait for high probability setups because you never know when they're going to go and when they're not going to go. Well, I mean you have some likelihood, but anyway, so let's be careful. If we just get a very small pullback, if price stays here without reversing, without coming back down, and we get a small correction, we might get a larger upside here. So be aware of that. But as soon as Bitcoin breaks this yellow line of death, we've invalidated this being a four wave. So understand 10,560, 10,600 is our invalidation point, something like that. A candle closing on the 1 hour above there. So we still could go a little higher here in Bitcoin. This is a junky video. I really had a hard time today because the market's moving and I had to analyze it on the fly and I couldn't consolidate my thoughts. Hope that's valuable to you in some way, shape, or form. BCH. I was going to look at BCH with you. It's looking corrective right now. Until we get up here, it's still looking corrective. I would say that we have a potential of doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That would be impulsive. If that's what we get in BCH, then look for what you need to be waiting for is the three-wave move to the downside. There's your entry point, and then you're going long. Okay, I'll look more deeply at BCH maybe later on and send a video tomorrow with some heavier analysis on it. That being said, you guys. Oh, okay. Sorry, the video was so discombobulated and maybe even long, but hope that was helpful just to see you, to have you watch me work out what the market's doing on the fly. You need to be nimble as a trader and do what the market's telling you. All right, you guys have a fantastic weekend. Talk to you later. Bye bye.